Well, it looks like a nothing burger type of day, but that doesn't mean that there's not stocks moving. That doesn't mean there's not opportunities. Let's talk about those opportunities. And of course, we got some earnings stocks after the bell. We'll have to wait and see. The SPY is just kind of right in the middle. Do we close towards 395.50 or 393? What do you guys say, chat? Let's take a look, see what happened in this market at the close with, of course, Joel Elconin in the back. Let's get right into the action.
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Well, let's bring on
What do
Joel
we got?
Elconin, and let's take a look at the markets. What do you see out there, Joel?
I see one of the tightest range days that we've had in quite some time here. We talked about taking out Friday's low at 42.50, but we didn't think it would get too far. Took out that low at 42.50, only went to 37.50, and now it's one of those days where the 9:30 opening print of 58.50 maybe where we close 6.5 hours later, or 5.5 hours later. Right now we're down 16 and a quarter at 57.75. Just kind of grinding here in the 39.50 handle. The buck, that's up. That's not helping things. That's up 88 cents at 107.70. TLT up a quarter at 99.89. Crude, we trade down to 75.27. Everyone was getting their 75.10 bids out. No can do. We rally all the way back. Now we're 70 cents off the high of the day. Gold, which we thought was looking a little weak, that's down $15 to 17.39.40. Silver, that's going the same way. That's under $21. It's down 14.7 cents at 20,850. Nah, Bitcoin not regaining 16,000, down $800 at 15,730. Folks, the low close of the move, 15,615. So not quite there yet, but still the slow leak in Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's down almost 9%. That's $107 at 10.94. But Mitch, the good thing about our job doing the at the close show is that we could just make stuff up. We don't even we could just talk about whatever we want. If the market's slow, we could do stocks from the chat. We could do a lot of different. We could talk about earnings after the close. But since there's not a lot out here, I'll let you be in command here, and we can talk. I mean, there's an ugly day for some tech stocks. I think that's what's dragging us down.
Of course, there was some more Fed talk out there. They can't even take a holiday, it seems like it, because Fed Daily was out there speaking about that as we make decisions about the future rate adjustments, it's going to be increasingly important to remain conscious of this gap between the printed funds rate and the proxy fund rate. So she's stating that you guys should pay attention to San Francisco Fed research showing that the proxy rate is more like 6% compared to the Fed fund rate range of 3.75 to 4%. So what she said, pretty much saying there, is that the kind of the lagging factors, right, that they have on their interest rates showing bigger impacts into the actual markets than, of course, you see out there. Now, one thing that is funny is that it just was given by Bullard that they were looking at 5 to 7%. So, I mean, that really shouldn't be a concern here. It just shows me more and more. There's definitely on both sides of the table right now, conflicting thoughts from the Fed. And so we're just going to have to wait and see what actually happens in the economy. Let's get towards the stock action. There was some stocks making moves today. Let's go first to the Disney stocks, and then we can look a little bit more underneath the hood. And then we'll take stocks from you guys out there today. I feel like today should be more, especially a week, more for you guys out there, our viewers, to give back to you guys and give thanks. So If you guys have stocks that are on your radar, throw them up in the chat. Let's go to the House of Mouse.
Okay. You know how I like to come up with names and I come up with terms? Well, I've come up with a new one for Disney, and it's for Dennis, and I'll introduce it to him tomorrow. It's called Kid Vision. You know, he's like, you want Disney to be good, you want Disney to be a good stock, but in reality, this Bob Iger thing was nothing but a short-term selling opportunity. Well, I tried to get that across to him. I tried to get that across to you guys. You came nowhere near that pre-market high, and no matter how much they tried to pump it, they couldn't. And now it's considerably lower than it was this morning. You're going to look at that. You're going to say it's up 542 at 97.22. Well, to me, I look like it is down $7 from the pre-market high, and there's been nothing but sellers in here. So, once again, I'll go back to my theory. I don't have the empirical data, but I don't know how Bob Iger taking over one night adds all this market value, adds a 6% move. To me, it maybe should be down 6% because they're desperate. They had to get rid of their CEO. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Actually, I saw something on there that they were upset about the last quarter's earnings. Are you kidding me? A company is going to worry about one quarter's earnings? I mean, I haven't been a basher of the House of Mouse, and I'm not going to comment on any politics and stuff like that. But this stock has gone nowhere since 2016, and I don't see. All right, maybe not shorting it today, but if you had this on for a short-term trade, you're buying this in the higher 80s, lower 90s, and you get this kind of move. Who knows? It might be up $10 tomorrow for all I know. It was just, for me, it was just too much too fast, and it didn't even get to this one daily high that I talked about. I was hoping it to get up to 101.97. The best it could do was 100.89.
All right, we'll take a look at Disney. Of course, what was mentioned there for the earnings was that, the cost cutting, that supposedly people didn't like that Bob Chapek was going to be doing cost cutting at Disney. And if anything, people, I guess, felt that they shouldn't be cutting costs, that they, if anything, should be adding to the growth. So I don't know about all that.
Did you say Bob Chapek?
No. Did I say that?
Yeah, I think put
Okay,
Mark
right.
Chapek involved. No,
I mean, maybe we got the indicators going there. Maybe we did indicator talk, but yeah, Bob Chapek. One of the things that I would say about this situation too is that I think from the very beginning, his job was not viewed as he was the correct person to take in charge, because since the very beginning, they had been talking about how they had very conflicting views about what they want to do going forward in Disney. So it looks like the board itself said, no, we don't want you in here. We don't believe that you know what's best for Disney, and that Bob Iger knows more and knows better. So, hey, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens there. He did make some moves. He tried to make some changes, but it definitely wasn't enough to keep his job there at Disney.
I saw that Trian, before we move on, isn't Trian a big activist? They're not happy with Iger coming in. That's what I thought. I mean, it's a mess. I mean, you can't argue with the percentage gain and the point gain today. Maybe we'll never. I mean, if I had to put this on my radar to buy in any kind of account, I would wait for the top of yesterday's range, Friday's range, 93.16. If I don't get it, I don't get it. But I'm not buying this thing at 97.25, hoping it goes back to 100. So looking at a risk reward ratio. But the main thing with me with Disney is that I just want, what's that one thing I want to go to? Blizzard Beach. Have you been there, Mitch? Have you been there?
I haven't been to Blizzard Beach. I've been to a couple other ones of the water parks, but I haven't been to that one. I've been to the Universal one, Wet and Wild, and some of the other ones, but I haven't been to that one. I'm gonna have to take it out. We're gonna have to take a look in the summertime. Maybe we escape out there.
No, not in the summer. You got to go those places in the winter, man. You don't
In
go
the
in
winter, Joel, you got that swimmer skin. I don't got that one yet.
What about in Florida, man? It's nice in Florida.
Dude, I still can't handle cold water. I don't know what it
Can you
is.
even swim, Mitch? Can you
I
swim?
could swim, but you put me in a duck in cold water, and I feel like
Okay.
I'm getting out real quick. I don't do good with cold water. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at a stock that surprised me going up today, Merck. Of course, they acquired. Is it Imago Bioscience?
Close enough.
Imago, or is it Imago?
Yeah. IMG. I just say IMGO.
I am AGO. I'll slide that one. But for $36 a share for cash, for a 1.35 billion. But normally the company that does the acquisition usually comes down off of it, not going up off of it. And it looks like Merck actually got a lift on this.
Dennis would give you the old lecture of what percentage of its market cap. I imagine this is not a huge deal for Disney. The street is looking like they're putting some of their profits to use. I just look at it from a technical basis, and you did have the higher open. Some enthusiasm with that. After a higher open, what do you look for support? You look for the next daily close. The previous day's close. Previous day's close 104.23. Boom, you came down to 104.23. You're rallying back up. That you set a new high, new all-time high, a new all-time closing high. The only thing, and this just may be because of the holiday trading, we still have 18 minutes left in the stanza. Not a big volume day. So there's buyers out there, they're buying it, but to me, it's not like we just got on Merck, let's trade 15 million. But we still got 18 minutes left in the session. But Merck, full disclosure, long Merck, bought it late, bought it bad, I think in the upper 80s, watched it go to the lower 70s, and holding on for dear life. MRK making a new all-time high and all-time closing high here on this Monday.
All right, from here, I'll let you pick maybe one of our leadership stocks, Joe, to take a look at. But I do want to mention, yes, I see you, Chad, out there. Looks like the USA and Wales game just tied up. USA struggling. Joe, we need to root them on. USA, come on. Come on,
What's
make
that
our
on?
goal.
What's that? What channel is that on?
I think you could watch the US versions. They're on Fox Sports or...
Fox.
Yeah, I think it's Fox Sports. I watch the Spanish versions because I think in Spanish, definitely soccer. If you're watching soccer, it's Spanish definitely does it better.
You know what? I mean, I'm probably going to get some heat in the chat from this because, it's the world's most popular sport, but they never score. All they do is run around and.
It's like hockey, though. It's like hockey in that.
No,
sense, right?
hockey, man. No, I mean hockey. They score with soccer. They just run and run and run and run. And then you know what the other thing I don't like about soccer?
What?
You don't know when the game ends. No one knows when the game ends. Like, how can you be cheering your butt off at the end of the game when you don't know when the end of the game is?
Hey, well,
Is that true?
It's how it is. It's how it is. There could be a little bit of extra time, and extra time is definitely a little bit confusing for us people that are used to kind of getting a countdown on our clock.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you want to see
football.
Yeah,
is a countdown versus a count up, and that's another thing too. It's a count up versus a count down, which is something different that you don't get often.
Unless you know how to do it. I'll give you two quick soccer stories with Dana and Emily. The first one with Dana, she was playing she was really young, like 3 or 4, and all these kids are running around, chasing the ball, and the ball goes off the field, okay, and the kids just keep kicking it, and they're like the whole swarm of kids are going. They had to be like 200-300 yards off course before someone caught up with them. Okay, that wasn't me running chasing him. And then the other good soccer story is my little one Emily. She played a little bit longer, and she was playing on. She played a lot of defense. She wasn't like a super aggressive offensive person. And I took her to a soccer game, and it was my birthday, right? And so what better thing could happen, than your kids score a goal on your birthday, right?
Yeah.
So Emily, like I said, she wasn't a super aggressive player, so she's standing just outside, the goal box, whatever. I don't even know what they call it. And the best player on the team just blasts the ball into her, right? And Emily stands still, and it hits her shin, and it goes straight in the goal. I was running on the
Hey.
field, picking her up, and they're like, "Yeah, you gotta get off the field." But so those are my two highlight. Yeah, they never were fleet of foot, so not big soccer players. But there's two soccer stories for you.
There you go. As long as you get a goal, we heard from Dennis. He still is waiting for his goal. So we'll have to wait what happens there. Let's take a
This
look at
kid,
some. No, he couldn't
what
score a
Spencer
goal,
hasn't scored
Joel.
a goal yet.
No, he couldn't score a goal. He
Damn
talked
it!
about his story about how he played like 5 seasons and never scored a goal. So, I mean, I don't know what to say about that one. Dennis can be on alone on that one. I would
All right, let's
probably
go. Let's
quit
go.
life. Let's go
No,
to
no more
Tesla.
tangents.
Tesla. Let's go. Let's take a look there. It's down to 168. 167.43
Oh,
is the price that I've been talking about for it seems like 2 or 3 weeks now that I've been looking at this price. Why this price? Well, this is the high from the split date on August 31st, 2020. It was a
mm,
5-for-1. The high that day was 167.43. Let's see if it gets through
mm-hmm.
that level. If it gets through that level, I'm actually even seeming a little bit interested in Tesla. But of course, the valuation doesn't make sense when the environment seems to want to come back. Definitely Tesla's going to be one I'll be watching. But it's fallen. And now if it gets below that split price, how many people will be underwater? That's what I'm starting to question.
I mean, I don't have any idea of thinking of buying this thing anywhere at any price. I mean, obviously it's going to have a bounce. Musk is selling stock. This is, I believe, this is the third or fourth down day in a row. Just you know what? It's coming home to roost, right? OPE hype. Yep, fourth down day in a row. 5 out of the last 6. I mean, one thing we talked about is, valuations, right? And this is finally being treated like it should be treated, a high value stock. Who knows what their growth is going to be moving forward. Full disclosure, I have a very small position, and it's probably even smaller now. But Matt, I mean, there's no interest. Look how far away you are from 200.
Yeah.
I mean, I see you 167.50. That's where it came up on mine. Those monthly highs, I mean, to me, I mean, it's got to show me this. First, it's got to stop going down. Then it's got to give me a double or triple bottom. And the other thing that Dennis, mentioned about this company, it's just really been, besides the mustness with the Twitter deal, there really hasn't even been any bad news on this. So y'all can bash Gordon Johnson all you want, but since he was on the show, when was that? Was that last Tuesday? It's
Yeah.
had a nice little haircut, but also he was also bearish all the way up. But just there was a lot of things going on, but this Twitter thing, that was the old Malcolm Gladwell tipping point, in my opinion.
We'll have to take a look to see what happens, but definitely it looks like autos are out of favor, so be careful there. Let's go to some stocks that are in favor. So, of course, we've been talking about some kind of mixed signals that we've been seeing in retail. Ross Stores coming back today after a pullback on the hourly on their earnings on Friday, coming back up there towards the 112. These are definitely stocks that we need to kind of keep in mind. And another one that I would keep in mind with this one is TJX, as that one starts coming back also. They both look pretty interesting to me. I'm going to keep these on my radar.
Yeah, these are tough days. These are tough stuff. You had the gap up. Well, for us stores, go to that
Yeah,
ROST.
let's do that.
Someone I know gave y'all 115. It went to 1590 that day, pulled back. The only interesting thing here was, you held yesterday's low, you opened flat, trade tight, tried to take out yesterday's low. So really the only thing you can do if you're trying to buy stocks like these on dips is good earnings is lean on the low of, the gap up area. I mean, why would you want to be long if it went through 106.60? It didn't get to 106.60. It had a good day. Let's call it an inside day. I think you might have a couple more of those before you get resolved to the upside. I don't think this is a company will give you like Black Friday sales or whatever. But holding that bounce, not much I can give you besides the pair of lows just under 107. And now that close from Friday, 107.59. That'll be coming into, if that comes into play tomorrow, support will be rapidly moving up from the pair of lows under 107.
All right, let's go ahead. We'll take some more stocks from the chat. You guys throw some up there. It's about 3:52. We got about 8 minutes left here. We'll take a look at some of the stocks that you guys are mentioning here. Let me see what else is being thrown up in there. Looks like you guys are just stuck on soccer. Can't blame you. But
I can't tell you. I mean, people, come in and like, oh, well, what's the market dynamics for this? I mean, I don't, who the sponsors are. I mean, who are the big?
Well, one
It's got to
stock
be
that
Nikes.
one stock I was looking at this morning was Para, because if you want to watch the games, one of the ways you can do it right now is Paramount Plus. And so if you want to kind of keep up with the stocks, I think this is a stock that I'm keeping up with today. In full disclosure, I did get stopped out in Para today earlier. Gave it a little bit of a shot there in 65. Was looking for the move to 19 today. It did pull back there, but just keeping this on watch. It's a Warren Buffett play also. Cash flows look good, but it still didn't get the love. Looks like it's getting the love now towards the end of the day. Not a bad one.
Okay,
maybe to keep
Mitch.
in mind.
Okay, learning moment for Mitch here.
Yeah.
You see my chart, right? You see the line that I drew. What happened on that day when it went up and touched 2050?
2050. Was that the Warren buy?
Yeah,
That was the Warren
yeah,
buy.
yeah. So fade trade there on Warren came back in, more than filled the gap,
Yep.
and you know what? But I don't know if it worked out. How did it work out at Taiwan Semi? Taiwan Semi, well, that was a little bit more of a teaser because it gapped up that day, then it gave it two other pokes. So you TSM traders here, you you guys on the long side, and it will come in. You'll come in overnight and you'll be like, oh, I want to get stopped out at 78, 769, and it's at 75. But as long as that holds the gap up area, the pair of lows, 890 and 78.69 looks good to go. If you're looking for technical confirmation, to me, still haven't got back that high close from that day when you hit 82.94. That's a couple days ago. No, it hit 82.93 on the Warren day, and then it hit 82.94 the other day, and the high close in the move has been 81.48. Didn't quite get that in today's session, but that's besides my number. Besides that recent high, keeping high at 81.48. Alaska Getty HD filling the gap. Well, of course it's going to fill the gap. The thing had a huge run into earnings. And, oh, wait a second. I'm wrong. He's talking about this gap on the upside, 319.78. Did you get there? No, you're getting close, but that's a good area, 319.78. It'd just be a gap fill. I'm not, calling for the end of the world there, but yeah, 320 is your next resistance point. It did clear my line from this day, but seems to be having a hard time closing over it.
All right. Looking at a interesting area, I've been keeping a close eye on the. Let's take a look at an area XLI in the industrials, because this is definitely an area where I keep just seeing the strength, and I feel like so many people are probably missing out on a trade like this. XLI trying to get back up through the 99 into that 100 handle. I think it's going to be an important level to watch. We'll see what happens to these stocks, but there's definitely some leaders here that I would keep on mind. Of course, we've been talking about the defensive stocks. Those seem to make sense. But look at a stock like Honeywell lately. That thing's been an absolute beast.
That's the kind of stocks, right? I bet you it has a low PE for this one. I'll just say, you got the seller stocked up at 100.25. You had 1006 today. Probably getting a little bit more of a running start in it tomorrow. But still resistance is still taken out. You can't even get real giddy because your August high was 100.97, but it's one of those too high to buy and too hot to short. So until it breaks out, shows it can get over close 100.25. Resistance is resistance until it's taken out.
All right, catching up with the chat out there. What are you guys taking a look at? And someone was like, "Budweiser, zero alcohol in the World Cup. It's gonna go down." Nah, I don't think it's really getting hit on that one. That's a little bit of a hard outlook. Yeah, it's just going sideways right now. Mary's asking about SoFi, and this is a stock that I would say when you're making new lows, you might want to go, and it's a dangerous stock now. Dangerous stock
Wow.
now.
Yeah, not quite a new all-time low. Did get the pop off earnings. I remember that was faded hard that day. All-time low comes in at 477. Is that correct here? Yeah, 479. Where did I see a 477? In October. I mean, maybe just try and buy this one on strength. Just put a click and say, hey. What was your close on? Ooh, that's a big down day today. Going under $5, no longer marginable. Dropping from 544. Is it going to zero? No. Is it going to bounce off this 480? I wish I could tell you, but trading at near an all-time low. If you want to give yourself, take a shot. I mean, I wouldn't wait till like 440 or 450 to find out you're wrong. But they faded it saying, I think this was the earning. Was this the earnings day? I think this was the earnings day. They faded it hard that day, got it back up there a little bit last week with the market, but better things to buy out there, Mitch. How put it that way.
What about the Google chart? It seems to me like it's hanging on by a thread. It looks like it wants to actually cut down versus actually hold on here back towards the 100. I think this is an important level to kind of look at now, because if you cut through 95, I don't know what holds here towards 90. It's in 85. So I'm interested here. Looks like a chart that's trying to get back through 100, but if it can't get there, it might just come back towards support.
Yeah, I mean it started to get in this gap area, got everyone all excited, and now you're faded. It's not like a hard fade. I mean, it's not like you feel like it's going to zero.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna get a look at the high 91, 91.75, 92? That's bottom of the gap area. Just you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 lower highs, 4 lower lows. If you're thinking to buy that, at least for that, wait for that trend to shore up a little bit. But I mean, these stocks are they're not the stocks of old. They're just not. Look at Amazon. Just hit a brick wall at that 105 area. And now, coming back, if you're looking for a gap fill in this one, that would come in at 98.69, right? Or excuse me, 89.48. The low today, 90.59. So we're closed, Mitch. That opening print at 9:30, 58.50. I'm going to call that the close today. Not quite an inside day because we made a little bit of a higher low. Quiet. This week it could be. This was our synthetic Tuesday afternoon, Mitch, because we're off on Thursday and it's a half day on Friday. So we're going to get through this week, folks, one way or another. Have fun. Mitch, great job. We'll check in with you guys in the morning.
Have a good one, Joel. I'll get you on out of here. And definitely, guys, smash up the like button. We'll see if the SPY is able to hold. Check us out tomorrow, pre-market prep. Don't miss it. Hit the thumbs up. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see what happens tonight. I'll be watching a little football action. And I'll, of course, be watching tomorrow morning a little bit of early morning soccer action. I might catch the Argentina game that starts at 5 a.m. Yes, it's going to be an early morning. We'll have to wait and see. You guys enjoy the day. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow. Like always, team, keep battling in this market.